Welcome back to the show, our Oklahoma Ag Credit Studios. Casey Kendrick along with not our co-host, not today, no sir. He is the mayoral candidate for the for Stillwater, City of Stillwater, and we had a chance to talk to Will Joyce earlier in the week, and this is like my third interview this week. I am working so hard this week.
You're working way harder than normal this
yes,
week.
I am. I had a great conversation with Josh Barnard yesterday with the Atherton, and our first segment was more about Oklahoma State Cowboy baseball than it was anything else. I didn't realize he actually played at UCO and came to the camps for Gary Ward many years ago. So anyway, it was a great conversation. So I enjoyed doing some of these, and yeah, I've got a script, and we're going to stick with it simply because it is it's a mayoral race. We want to be fair to both candidates, but I may go off script because you think I can make you cry?
I doubt it.
Tell me about your biggest disappointment in life, Kevin.
Well, let me tell you this. That has nothing to do with my biggest disappointment. Is it's a little weird sitting on this side of the set. I've not been here as a guest probably since 2008. I don't remember why I was here. I ran for school board in 2007.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I've sat on this side of the set.
Yeah, that's it is weird because I do this all the time, and then when I'm on that side, it's like, whoa, wait, you're gonna ask me what? So,
this isn't right at all.
All right, so let's get into it. So first off, you and Karen, you've been married how long?
33 years.
33 years. Been in Stillwater how long?
15.
15 years, and
I was described in the news press as a long-time Stillwater resident. I've never been called that before.
That 15 years, that just means you're getting old, right? I don't know. Okay, so let's ask these questions. All right, so what are some changes we can expect should you serve as our mayor?
One of the things that mayor candidates talk about every time we run is our streets, but they never seem to have a plan to get us there.
Sure.
And what I want to do is lead us through a process that hopefully the voters will approve a bond issue. We've not passed a bond issue in Stillwater since 2000, when they built the police station and renovated the municipal building. And that's not because they haven't tried. It's because I think they've gone about it the wrong way. And they, something I have experience in, having been a school board member for 10 years, is building and passing bond issues. And what you have to do is you have to start at the ground and get your constituents involved in saying, here are the things that we think are important. And I promise you, if you go out with a blank piece of paper and say, what's the first thing we need to do, the very first thing you're going to hear is fix our streets.
So what do you do? What is the plan? How do you get people on board with that?
Well, by going out and having meetings, whether you go to neighborhood meetings, whether you say we're going to be in this area, come let's talk about how we're going to fix whatever it is you want to work on. We want to hear your priorities for the city. And you collect that list, and then you build it up through a committee that eventually culls through the list. And on every single list, you're going to see streets on top of it. I promise you.
One thing that Christy probably didn't do is follow-ups like I'm going to do, but that's all right because I know Kevin and I like to do these sorts of things. Quite honestly, I think part of the bond issue's failure is in the past also, whether intended or unintended, was that there had a lack of transparency.
Absolutely.
And because of that, people didn't quite trust it. And so what is amazing to me is bond issues are not just about satisfying a need and trying to rectify it. As you present it, it cannot be ambiguous. It cannot have any shadow of a doubt. So the wording may be as important as the vote itself.
Absolutely.
Because if at any point you think it's untrustworthy, that's when people go, no, I'm not behind this anymore.
And I agree with that. And that's part of why the bond issues that come from the city need to be very specific and very targeted. So some things that I expect are going to pop up on the list are streets. It's going to be probably replacement of fire station number 2, which is the campus fire station, which is woefully inadequate in today's environment. The trucks barely fit. It's a dangerous corner with students and drivers all coming around corners as they're trying to back equipment or pull equipment out. They barely fit. The facility has a number of problems. And I think people would get on board those kinds of things. What they're not going to get on board doing is passing bond issues that do a fire station and pay interest on police cars for 20 years, which is what we had proposed last time.
Yeah, the monies have to be earmarked very specifically and need to be limited. The next question is basically we just answered, so I'm going to go to the third question. The second question, what manner in which you plan to improve? You just said it with bond issues. Here's the third question. What do you believe are the top 2 to 3 needs of Stillwater? You've somewhat addressed that, but give us an idea besides roads, what else?
Well, the fire station is a big one.
Okay.
And there's been a lot of conversation about that around town. A third issue that has some traction in some segments of our community is the idea of the animal welfare facility. That's where our animal, I forget the name of the term of the animal enforcement.
Sure, okay.
And the Humane Society are housed together. That building's been hit by lightning at least 4 times. It has a number of structural issues. It's really undersized and inadequate for the need. That thing probably needs to be replaced, and there's some momentum around the idea of maybe replacing that. Again, maybe as part of a bond issue.
But no truth to the fact you want to put it at the dog park.
No, no
See,
truth to that.
You won't get that from Christy.
You will not get that from Christy. And something else I want to talk about on the bond issues for streets in particular.
Right.
There's been some conversation that maybe a street bond issue is paid for by sales tax, as opposed to going on to property taxes, because that way our visitors and the people who live outside the city are coming into Walmart and using other merchants in town can help pay for the roads they're driving on.
Which again, that's it. They're using those roadways
Right.
as well. So I don't have a problem with that either. So there you go.
Where the fire station would go on property tax because the property owners are benefiting from that.
Right, absolutely. Let's take a break. Come back. We're going to talk about what can we do to make this a more attractive destination. I wonder who wrote that question. We're going to talk about the primary reason Stillwater voters should vote for Kevin, and we've got other questions as well. Segment number 2 with Kevin. Coming up, our mayoral candidate, the second of 2. We talked to Will Joyce. We'll talk more with Kevin Clark coming up here in just a few minutes. Take a time out. We'll be back with the morning edition right after this. Okay, segment number 2 with Kevin Clark, our mayoral candidate, also our co-host around here, and we are obviously going to continue with some of the questions. All right, so we're running out of time, which I have run over every single day I've been on by myself, which makes no sense to me whatsoever.
You should be better at managing the clock.
Yes,
man.
well, I got to quit talking. I get on Christy all the time about it. What can be done to make Stillwater a more attractive destination?
Well, I think there are a couple of things. Number one, I think we have to have a yes, we can do this attitude that I don't think we always have. If you talk to Bobby Wintle over at District Bikes and what it took to get the land run started here, you even talked to Christy about Winter Wonderland and some of the challenges she had getting that off the ground.
Sure.
We have to have a yes, we're here to help you find solutions attitude that we don't always have. Something else is there is an events guide that the City Council recently saw the first draft of, and that's going to basically lay out all the rules. There's going to be an events coordinator within city government that will be the person that you flow everything through, and then he or she will connect you to the resources you need. And it's going to say, if you're a for-profit organization, you may have this kind of fee. If you're a nonprofit, you may have these kinds of fees. And here are the steps you need to do. And if you're doing this kind of event, you need to have this kind of security. It's going to lay that all out so at least you know what to expect when you're planning your event. So those are a couple of things that...
Consistency there is obviously very important.
Absolutely.
And trust me, I've built in this community, and it's not a builder-friendly community lots of times. What's the primary reason Stillwater residents should vote for you? Well,
I think that residents should vote for me because I have a track record of getting things done, right? I mean, you've known me a long time.
Right.
My service on the school board, the service in our Rotary Club, our Rotary Club needed new bylaws, so I just wrote them, right? And we got them approved. And I just have in my DNA the ability to get things done. When I was at Mercruiser, we had a project where we had not won a J.D. Power Award, and they'd been in our industry for 4 years. And our bosses were tired of it. So I was charged for both Mercruiser and Outboard with building a process to go figure out how to do that. And what we did is we went out and surveyed the satisfaction of our customers who had brought product within the window of where they would be surveyed, not to capture data, but to find the problems with the products. So we could then use our team to go solve those problems and get those customers happy with the product, and we won 2 of the 3 eligible awards the next year.
Wow.
And we put that together from go get it done to being fully implemented and making phone calls, people hired, trained, systems in place in 3 weeks.
So how can people vote? Remind us, help us out here.
All right, well, today you can vote, unless you're watching this in the 7 o'clock p.m. replay, you can vote today at the Payne County Administration Building. They've moved voting downstairs because the elevator is out in the building, so you can vote on the first floor. from 8 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock at night. And then next Tuesday at your polling place from 7 in the morning till 7 at night.
The new mayor will meet, will come in, I believe either one, will come in on the first Wednesday of every month. So we're looking forward to whoever that is, whether it's Will, whether it's Kevin, looking forward to continue to work with our city mayor and have them come to bring all the topics and conversations that they want to have here on the show every month. So looking forward to that. You might have been involved in the two most amicable races ever. Your first candidate or your first opponent in the school board race, you know, we couldn't differentiate you two much, and you two obviously had great respect for each other. It seems that we've kind of got the same thing going on here with the mayoral race.
We were both dedicated to making sure that we have a positive, issues-oriented campaign, and I appreciate that in Will. And you know, he is currently on the city council. I look forward to serving with Will on the city council. And but he is a great leader, and we're lucky to have him. And I'm hearing lots of comments that we're lucky to have two well-qualified candidates running.
Best of luck.
Thank you, sir.
All right. With that, let's take a break. Come back. We will take a look at the forecast and wrap up this Friday edition of the Morning Edition right after this.